What's going on, guys? Today I'm gonna be teaching you how to do implosion skip. So the first thing is, I feel like this is not something that a lot of people think about, but the movement at the beginning is actually important in determining whether or not you actually want to go for it. I'm assuming that if you're looking at this, then you already probably know how to get a good cycle, but just in case, you actually don't really need insanely good movement in order to get the cycle. You just need to not mess up like hugely. Alright, so I'm just going to demonstrate this once. I'm just going to run through it. As you can see, I really don't have the best movement in the world. You can mess up quite a bit when it comes to your movement and still pretty much be able to get the cycle. Some people like to pre-walk those blast doors, which is another option, but it doesn't save that much time. You see, I bonked there, but this should be, even this kind of slow movement should be more than enough to be able to get this as long as you hit the climb in a timely manner. Alright, so I just grabbed the chair. I can mess up there as well. You can see I make it with time to spare, right? So the truth is that as long as you're, oops, okay, well, you don't want to miss that. That's a pretty easy part though. But anyway, the truth is that as long as your climb is decent, you really don't need the best movement in the world. So now that I've kind of ran through it, when it comes to like movement and stuff, I'm going to actually break down everything. So for this, I would recommend making a save to practice it right before. Right, so what you can do is if you can't really get a good cycle, I would recommend just like getting here and then waiting for one of these panels to come over and then making your save like right here. Right, so you want your save to be there. And so the way that I do it, is I always make sure that my chair is sideways like this when I'm grabbing it, right? If it's like this, it's just, it can work pretty much at any orientation that you want. Just do what you're comfortable with. But the reason, I'll show why I like to have it sideways in a second here. The reason why is because although this first jump can be kind of awkward with the chair sideways, if I immediately re-grab it, then it'll set up perfectly to put it on this little door thing here, right? Which is what we're gonna do. So most people like to do this thing where they jump on it before they drop it, which in my opinion, I just think that that is harder. Like, you can do it obviously, and if it is more comfortable for you, then I would, I guess, recommend it. But for me, it's really hard to get it consistently when I'm jumping on the chair. It's just super finicky. So what I like to do, which is not really much slower at all, especially in a full game setting, maybe for CM it is going to be suboptimal, but for full game it's completely fine. I have a top 10 time in CM doing this strat as well, so it's really like, it is not much slower to put the chair down first onto the thing, right? And I'm just going to slow down so I can demonstrate. So all you do is just make sure you position yourself kind of to the left of this door. If you are too far right, as you can see, it's going to be pretty awkward to get this chair where you need it to be. You just won't really have the angle right, so you kind of need to be on the leftmost part of this so that you can have the right angle, and you're pretty much just going to want to aim for here. And what's going to happen is the chair is going to fall towards you. That's basically what you want. You don't want the chair to fall away from you because it's going to be harder to get on it because you're going to need to jump further, right? Like if the chair is falling away from me right there, I'm pretty sure it was, it's still possible, but it's just easier when the chair is falling towards you. A common misconception is that the chair needs to be fully still, which is absolutely not true. I don't even know if it's possible. I think maybe it is, but I cannot get it to stay fully still. You don't need that. You just need to let go of it and then immediately jump after it. Alright, which kind of separates the two actions and makes it a little bit more easy, in my opinion. So you don't need to make it perfectly still. You just need to drop it and get onto it before it falls down, right? And you can get onto it really, really easily. So once you have this down, that's actually pretty much the hard part. Once you have that down, you're going to, there's a little invisible wall thingy here that you can jump onto. You're just going to want to jump on it. And then you're going to want to, for this last jump, it really doesn't matter. It kind of matters what orientation the chair is right now. Like, if you have a really bad one, it's going to be harder. But from my experience, I really have never had to worry about the chair's orientation. One thing that I will note is where you're going to be saving. So, for me personally, I like to save right after I drop this chair. And then I actually don't save for this part. You can if you want to. It's just I like to do this quickly and I need like my fingers to be free. So I save after I drop the chair and then I do these 2 hops and then I get on here and then I make sure that I'm facing this way before I make a save. The reason that I make sure I face this way is because if I'm facing like this when I make the save, or if I'm like this, if I'm facing like here and I make a save there, then my save is going to be like just dropping the chair. Like right here, if I load my save, like right there. I can't really explain it, but there is a chance that if you make a save while you're facing this way, then your save will just be perpetually dropping the chair. You really don't, I don't know why I can't get it. I guess I would need to make a save like here. So yeah, this is an example, right? If I made a save facing there, I'm cooked, right? So that's why you want to make sure that on that second or third save, you want to be facing forward, right? So face forward, then make a save so you don't really have to worry about that. But anyway, this chair hop is a lot easier. All you really want to do is you don't really need to move your mouse that much. You just need to ram this chair into the corner and then jump. I see a lot of people sometimes like moving the chair like that. You really don't need to move your mouse. You just need to look at a sort of downwards angle around 60 degrees like that and just ram it into the corner and then just scroll. You don't need to re-grab the chair after this. You're pretty much done with it because all you're going to do now is once you're here, you're going to jump, and this is kind of a weird geometry that you can't really walk on. You're just going to want to slide and hold A, or W and A, sorry. W and A at the same time to kind of slide off it, and then you're going to end up here. And obviously I've taken a long time, so the portal's closed. But the movement for this is probably less complicated than you might think. You don't want to back up and do something like this. You can, obviously, but it'll take way longer. But what most people do is just 2 kind of redirects like that. So no WD, no WA, just straight D and like that. And that's what most people do. The important things to note about this is that it's really not as much movement as you maybe might want to do at first. If you're struggling with this, it might just be a movement skill issue. But yes, important things to note are that you definitely don't want to crouch. What the hell is going on? You definitely don't want to crouch. Just stay standard. There's no ground frame thing going on here. It's just 2 jumps, uncrouched, and it will suck you in if you get it in time. Alright, so one more time. I like to place the chair down sideways. Place that down. Like that. And then 2 jumps to kind of finish it off, and then 2 hops right there, making sure that you don't airlock and making sure that you don't hit the ceiling. And that is implosion skip. It's not too bad. I would definitely recommend it over like ceiling skip. I think that ceiling skip is just overall a lot harder. So I think that this is an overhyped skip. I think that people overhype it, and I definitely recommend it if you're around that 57 to like 58 range. I would definitely recommend at least giving this a shot. So yeah, that's my implosion skip tutorial, and yeah, that's pretty much it.